Okay, so welcome all of you to this class on Bhagavad Gita. And this is a very important chapter. The name of the chapter is Transcendental Knowledge. Today, we are going to hear a supreme secret how to work so that we do not get entangled in its reactions. Okay, this is a very important class. So please listen attentively. Today's class will be very important and relevant for our practical lives. So after hearing this class, we will have clarity about how do we do our action, how to act in such a way that we are no longer entangled, and how we become liberated, how to become liberated, that we will learn in today's class. Okay, so let us begin with the chapter number 4, text number 13. Let's begin. Hare Krishna. So sharing my screen here. I hope you are able to see it here. Make it a little bigger for you so that it's easier for you to read. Done. I think this should be good. Yeah, so let's go by the reading order that I've mentioned here. Okay, but in any case, even if I've not mentioned in the group the order, if you want to read, okay, you can always raise your hands and I'll call you out. Okay, it's not hard and fast. That I'll only go with the order. Okay, let's start with Sumit Prabhu, text number 14. Right.
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
चतुर्वर चतुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टम्
Chaturvanya. It's Chaturvanya. Okay.
चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तरम् अपि मां विद्या अकर्तरम् अव्ययम्. Translation: According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Lata Mataji is not here. Okay, we'll have some other volunteer. Okay, anybody wants to read this verse not mentioned here? Okay, please raise your hands and I'll give you a chance to read this verse. Okay. Yes, Sita Devi Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, 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 Prabhuji.
Yes,
I can read.
yes, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्मविभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्या अकर्तारम् अव्ययम्. Translation also, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Translation: According to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the four divisions of human society are created by me. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Okay, so let us understand this. So I'll explain this. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. So kindly be on mute. So let me. I'll share my whiteboard. Okay, hope you are able to see my screen. So in this verse, so Lord Krishna, right? Let's write this down. Okay. So Lord Krishna. So who is Lord Krishna? Supreme Personality of Godhead. Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he is saying he has created four divisions of in the human beings, right? Let's see this. He says it's four divisions of the human society are created by me. So there are many societies. So what is Krishna talking about here? The different types of animals, right? But is he talking about the animals here? He's talking about human society. So 4 divisions he has created in the human society. So we will see what are those 4 divisions. So we'll see what are the 4 divisions that Krishna has created. That is division number 1, division number 2. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. And on what basis has he created? This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. He has created 4. And on what basis? Let's see that also. He's saying, according to the 3 modes of material nature. So according to the 3 modes of material nature. So according to the 3 modes of material nature, they're called 3 modes of material nature. So what are these 3 modes of material nature? That is a detailed class that will come in chapter number 14. We are right now in chapter number 4. So it's going to take a little bit of time for us to come to this, where we will be discussing in detail about the 3 modes of material nature. But for now, let us just simply understand that there are 3 modes again here. So one is called the mode of goodness. Okay. So in simple words, it's like, when you wake up early in the morning, you feel very fresh, you feel very happy, very nice. And the second one is called mode of passion. It's something like, when your bus is about to come, office bus or school bus, you are now, or when you have some examination tomorrow, you are running, that you are on the run. So you're not peaceful now. Now you are hankering for something, running. You're doing some action, right? Very oversimplifying it. The third one is called as the mode of ignorance. Mode of ignorance is like you come back from office, or from school, you come back and then you relax, okay, take a bath, you have your dinner, and then now you're sitting in front of your TV watching some channels, and at this moment now, even if somebody is going to call you, you're not going to respond to them. Something like that. You're half asleep now. Right? Something like that. Very basic. According to these 3 modes of material nature, Krishna has divided the human society into 4 varnas. Now, what are these 4 varnas and what are their duties? These 4 varnas and what are their duties is explained in chapter number 18. Chapter number 18, we will get much more detail about what are these varnas and what are these. So in short, so there are 4 classes of the society. So let us call it like the intellectual class, okay, which is called as the Brahmana, intellectual class, administrative class. So these are like, intellectual people are like, those people who are teachers. So all the teachers and spiritual leaders, those who are teaching spirituality or teaching anything, trainers, academicians, philosophers, writers, thinkers, all of them come to this class. So administrative is more about administering the society. It's about ruling. You see, in democracy, we have member of the parliaments, member of legislative assembly, we have the chief minister, we have the prime minister, we have army, we have police department, something like that. Okay, all of this administrative department. That is called as the Kshatriya. And next one is called as mercantile class. Mercantile class means these are the people who are running the economy. Okay, so running the economy, doing business, taking care of producing the grains, right? Rice and producing rice, grains, and running the economy, trade, right? Stock market, all of that, mercantile community. And then the labor or the employee class. So those who are all of the employees who are reporting to an office or a work. So mercantile community is technically called Vaishya. Labor community is also called as the Shudra. So these are the 4 divisions that God is saying that I have created. What is he saying? Let's see this. saying Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam, by me. They are created by me. Let's put that aside here. So who has created the system? Krishna has created the system. And then based on what? The three modes of material nature and the work associated. Based on two things. Based on the modes of material nature and the work associated with them. It's not based on birth. These four systems, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, is not determined by birth. Just like, okay, if somebody has to be intellectual academician, or somebody wants to be doing business, or somebody is going to be in politics or in the army, is not decided by birth. By birth, it may be useful. So for example, a politician's son may become a politician, right? A businessman's son may become a businessman, but that's not guaranteed. It depends upon the work that you choose. Everybody is free to choose whatever work. So based on the three modes of material nature, the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, and based on the activities or karma, so guna karma vibhagashah, Krishna is saying, guna karma vibhagashah. This is very important. Guna karma vibhagashah. Based on that, he's doing. That's the most important point. The second point here is, he's saying, I am the creator of the system. Even though I am the creator of the system, I am aloof from it. According to the three modes of material nature, they are created. Although I am the creator of the system, I am aloof from. You should know that. Yet I am the non-doer, being unchangeable. I am yet the non-doer. So even though he has created this societies or these different classes of people who are doing different type of activities, so all the activities done by these people cannot be attributed to God or Krishna, because Krishna has created the intellectual class, administrative class, mercantile class, laborer class. Doesn't mean that if somebody is doing some karma, okay, let us say that there is a academician who publishes a paper which is like he discovers something very dangerous, right? For example, Alfred Nobel was a physician and a scientist. Actually, he was a scientist, and he invented dynamite. Right, the dynamite was for a proper constructive use, but that was used for killing a lot of people later. So now, because this person has created some scientific innovation which is killing a lots of people, should we say that all this bad karma is going to Krishna because he created the system? The answer is no. He is still the non-doer. Even though he has created the system, he is yet the non-doer. Okay, so that is the important point. So why has he created? The next question is, okay, he has created this four classes of system. Why has he created? The first point is, he has created it for the human society, right? So here is the most important point. I would like somebody to read this part. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, right. Yeah, who can volunteer to read this?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Human society is similar to any other animal society, but to elevate man from the animal status, the above mentioned divisions are created by the Lord for the systematic development of Krishna consciousness. The tendency of a particular man towards work is determined by the modes of material nature which he has acquired.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Krishna. So the first point that I would like to highlight is, this division is not for the animals. You see, if let's say we have some animals, like for example, so we have some animals, let's say. You can't divide them into these four categories. It's not for the animals. It's for the human beings. This is only for the human beings. That's the first point. Because Chaturvarna Maya Srishta Guna Karma. This is for the human beings. First point. Second point is that the purpose of this creation, the purpose of the creation is for here, it's here, for the systematic development of Krishna consciousness, for the systematic development of Krishna consciousness. Now why? Why do we need Krishna consciousness? By the end of this class, you will get that answer. Why do we need to be Krishna conscious at all? I mean, Krishna has created human beings, and Krishna has given this four divisions of the society, human society, for the sake of systematic development of Krishna consciousness. But why Krishna consciousness is something that will be answered by the end of the class. I will be asking you the same question, okay? We'll discuss that at the end of the class. Why should anybody care or anybody be Krishna conscious at all? What is it that they're going to get? What will happen if I'm not Krishna conscious? Or why is it so important to be Krishna conscious is something that we'll discuss, okay? So, of course, there are some details here, like, the tendency of a particular man to work is determined by the modes of material nature which he has acquired. So that is there. That is, how would you determine what you want to become? I mean, given a chance, how would a person decide whether you want to be an intellectual or administrative or mercantile or laborer? It depends upon their modes of material nature. Of course, it depends upon their fate or luck, or a lot of people don't choose their career. That's a different story. But if you give them a chance, what is it that they get attracted to determines their modes of material nature that they are currently in. So whatever modes of material nature they are currently in, that is not as important as whether one is systematically able to transcend these modes or not. So what I'm trying to say is, this is a little technical. We'll be coming to this. This is the lowest, sorry, I hope you're able to see my screen. Yeah, this is like the lowest among all the, I will say, three modes of material nature. It's like very bad. Okay, lowest one. So this one is okay. This is okay. Okay, so this is like okay. Goodness is like good. This is good. And beyond these three modes of material nature, we have something. Okay, that's called the Shuddha Sattva, or the transcendental modes of material nature. That is what we want to become. We want to transcend all of these three modes of material nature. So it doesn't matter whether one person is in the ignorance or passion or goodness. Now, based on what they are, they get attracted to this, I'm saying. Like, for example, the intellectuals or the Brahmana class are supposed to be in the mode of goodness. So those who are in the mode of goodness, they get attracted to the intellectual activities or academic activities, or because you see, in academics or teaching, there is no sin, obviously, isn't it? I mean, it is non-violent, it is sharing knowledge, it is a peaceful kind of a profession. Administrative class, there is some kind of violence. The police has to be violent, army has to be violent, the politicians have to be violent, they have to be strict against, we had Operation Sindoor, and we punished the enemies. You have to be violent. So that is administrative class. That's mode of passion. The mercantile class is a mixed mode of passion and ignorance. So there is little bit of ignorance also along with passion for mercantile community, because you see, they're trying to sell you something. Obviously, they can't tell you the truth, right? So they say, we have an offer, end of the season, right? So they say end of the season, and then the thing is like, most of the time it is just that they increase the price and they reduce the price. Or if you ask them, they say the money, what you're paying is actually, I'm not even getting the cost, something like that. Mercantile community, business is involved. There's some lies and some cheating involved. So it's more of ignorance also involved. So labor class or the employee class is like completely ignorant, is not having any knowledge of what's happening. I mean, what is it that I'm doing? How is it impacting the company? Or, the employee is like completely ignorant. You see, it's less like this. Sometimes, employees only thinking, I just need my job to be there. So while the company is sometimes thinking, okay, let us lay off this because this business is not doing well, the employees become very hurt. Actually, because, I mean, not to demean anybody, I'm also an employee, but just to let you know that because they are in the mode of ignorance, they have no clue what's happening in the company or the political scenario. I mean, the kind of knowledge that the mercantile community has about the business, the labor community doesn't have, or the administrative community has about the geopolitics or the politics, what's happening, the labor community doesn't have. Intellectuals are thinking at an intellectual level, so they are in the knowledge platform. That's like the shell of it. Let's not go too deep into it. I know this is a big topic. But the point here is, a person in Krishna consciousness is even above the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas are said to be the best among these four classes, that is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Brahmana is said to be the topmost, first class, second class, third class, fourth class. But if you are in Krishna consciousness, it is said that you are even above the Brahmana, because the Vaishnava or a devotee is above the mode of goodness. So that's an important point to note. So a Brahmana is supposed to be approaching the impersonal Brahman manifestation of the Lord, but a man who transcends the limited knowledge of Brahman and understands the knowledge of Krishna becomes a person in Krishna consciousness or a Vaishnava. So now let's get back here. So these are the four divisions that we have. So above this, all of this we have is the best is the devotee. A person who is a devotee is above all of these Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, and devotee is above them. So because even the Brahmana, the intellectual, is only having the knowledge about the impersonal Brahman, that is impersonal Brahman manifestation of the Supreme Lord, but whereas a devotee of Krishna is having a Vaishnava is having a complete knowledge of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we are trying to understand the complete knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So to understand complete knowledge about Sri Krishna means to understand about not only Krishna but also all his plenary expansions like Rama, Narsimha, Varaha, Vishnu, all of that. So finally the point is Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all divisions of the human society. Krishna consciousness is transcendental to all divisions of human society. Any questions here? Can we go to the next one? Anybody has any questions here? Hare Krishna. Let's go to the next verse. Premai Kunti Mataji. Let's read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Text 14. Namam karmani limpanti name karma phale spraha iti mam yo bhijanati karma bhirna sabhadyate. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank
Hare
you.
Krishna Mataji, thank you very much. Okay, next Grishma Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji is not here. Is there anybody who wants to read? Wants to read this verse?
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yes, please go ahead.
न मां कर्माणि लिपन्ति न मे कर्म फले स्पृहा इति मां योऽभिजानाति कर्मभिर्न स बध्यते. Translation: There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. So let us try to understand this. So Krishna appears to be doing a lot of work. Yes or no? So what is it that he wants? Let's try to understand that. Krishna is explaining something very important for us. Okay, let's go through this. Okay, here is Lord Shri Krishna. Lord Krishna. So what are the activities that Krishna is doing? So after his birth, anybody knows? Can you tell me the timeline? Okay, let us say Krishna's birth is here. Okay, birth. So what happened afterwards? Who can tell me? Let's see. Okay, so let us say this is the timeline. After birth, he was, helping his father to take care of the cows, right? So let's say, herding cows. So of course we in the modern society now, we tell to our children, if you don't study, I'll give you one buffalo, you'll have to raise the buffalo and cow, right? We talk it in a very demeaning way, don't we? Right? But actually it's a duty. It's a duty of the Vaishyas. and they take care of the cows. If they're not taking care of the cows, how are you going to get the milk, right? So if everybody stops taking care of the cows, there's nobody there to take care of the cows, how are you going to get the milk, right? So there should be somebody who's to take care of the cows also, right? So he was cutting the cow. First he was herding the calves, and then so he got a promotion. So at the age of 5 he was doing calves. He used to take care of the calves, and he'll take the calves to the grazing fields of Govardhan, and then all they'll be eating grass, and then he'll come back with all the calves, right? And then later he got a promotion. What is his promotion? We get a promotion, right? So his promotion is from calves to cows. Next he started taking cows. How many cows he had? Anybody has any idea how many cows he had?
I think
9 lakhs.
28 lakhs.
9 lakh cows. He had 9 lakh cows, and he could call all of them by his flute. So he could call them by name also. So by his flute, all the cows will start following him. So all the calves and cows will be following him. So he used to take care of the cows and all. Okay, then what happened? There was a twist that happened. Okay, suddenly somebody came, Akrura came. So Akrura, so then he's taken to Mathura, goes to Mathura. Right? So he goes to Mathura because Akrura comes and informs that Krishna is not son of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, but he is actually son of Devaki and Vasudeva, who are imprisoned. Correct? So he goes to Mathura, and then he kills. Whom does he kill?
Comes.
Kamsa. Right? And then what happens next? So he releases his parents, right? And then what happens next?
Dwarka, Prabhu.
Dwarka. They move their capital to Dwarka. Moves to Dwarka. Now what is, even before going to Dwarka, sorry, we missed one milestone.
Sandipani Muni.
Yeah, he goes to Gurukul, right? Gurukula education. So he gets trained in 64 arts in 64 days. So we are spending 22 years, sometimes 26, depending upon the education that you are taking. 22, if you're doing postgraduate, it will go up to 28 to 30 years also. Krishna didn't spend so much time. He spent only 64 days. So 64 days, he mastered 64 arts. So Gurukula education he got from Sandipani Muni. So he's getting some now. Afterwards, what happened? So now he's like a prince. He's no longer a cowherd boy, correct? Now he's not going to graze cows, but he's going to fight wars. So he started fighting wars against whom? Who was the person who was repeatedly attacking Krishna? Anybody remembers the past?
Jarasandha.
Jarasandha. Jarasandha was repeatedly attacking Krishna. 18 times he attacked. Right? 18 times. And every time he attacked Krishna, Krishna and Balaram, single-handedly they used to kill millions of people, billions of army, soldiers. Millions of soldiers Krishna used to kill. And Krishna and Balaram single-handedly. Right? So now he's a Kshatriya, is acting like a Kshatriya, fights wars, and then he moved his capital to Dwarka. Right? So moved to Dwarka. He shifted the entire capital to Dwarka. So just like how we shifted our capital from Kolkata to Delhi, right? So he moved his capital to Dwarka, from Mathura to Dwarka, because that Jarasandha was repeatedly attacking. So Dwarka was a very nice fort, and which is within the water, and it's like an island. So he moved to Dwarka. Then what happened? What's the next milestone? What's the next milestone? He got married.
Then Rukmani.
Rukmani.
Yeah, married to, we'll put 16,108 wives. Oh my God, so many marriages. So we also get married, but difficult to run one marriage, right? 16,108 wives. Krishna married 16,108 wives. Then what happens next? What happens next? What's the next milestone?
Mahabharat.
Yeah, Mahabharat. So he's like, negotiating, peace, He acts as a peace ambassador.
Yeah.
So he goes as a peace ambassador. So he's on the side of the Pandavas. So he's on the side of Pandavas. So he goes to the Kauravas and says, let's not have any war. War is not good. Let's stop. Just give them whatever. So of course the dice and all of that happen here. Okay, the incident of dice and Pandavas losing their kingdom, all of that has happened, we are assuming. Okay, and Krishna is assisting them, all the Pandavas. And then what happened? So then the war. So the Kurukshetra war happened. So what was Kurukshetra? What was the role of Krishna in Kurukshetra war? Was he one of the fighters?
No, you can't hear.
He was a charioteer. So he's acting like a charioteer. Now he's acting like a charioteer. And then he helps Pandavas to win the war, right? And then installs Yudhishthira Maharaj on the throne. He makes him the king, right? And then what happens? Do you know what happens afterwards? The Yadavas, there is a curse. The Yadavas get cursed. Yadavas, they get cursed because, I mean, this is winding up past time. So what happens is, like, the Yadavas, they try to make fun of some sadhus. By one of the Yadavas, Samba, son of Krishna, very mischievous. He wears a dress of a woman, and he puts a pillow in his stomach and says, I'm pregnant, okay. And then they go to a sadhu and say, can you tell me when my wife is going to give birth to a baby? Something like that. Okay, they try to make fun of the sadhus. The sadhus curse them that all your Yadavas will fight with each other and you will all die. The curse happens. And then Krishna, he retires, right? Krishna, he actually retires to the forest. Okay. So, and then what happens? Anybody knows what happens next?
Hunter kills.
The hunter. So hunter shoots an arrow, and because of the arrow, Krishna leaves to his abode. But just tell me something. Krishna has fought so many wars here. Okay, with he used to kill single-handedly one Akshauhini Sena, right? And in the Kurukshetra also, he was capable of single-handedly finishing everybody. He actually has a war with Lord Shiva also, and he wins. And he sends the hunter also back to Godhead and Vaikunta. Can't he protect himself from an arrow? One single arrow will finish him. Are you understanding?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Does it make any sense? One arrow finishing Krishna? It is winding up past time. You have to understand like that. Okay, that's what is very important. So why I'm saying this is relevant? Okay, you have to understand this, that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, and by his will he winds up. It is because of his will that the Yadavas were cursed and fought. It is because of his will that the Kurukshetra war happened. It is because of his will that, he's marrying 16,108 wives. It is because of his will that, he wanted to go to Mathura, or he wanted to go to. So after birth, he was transferred, right? We forgot that, right? He was born in the prison and he was transferred to Vrindavana. Like, it was all his will, okay? He is deciding what to do, what not to do. It is all his will. As per his will, everything happens. So now Krishna is acting like a different, till here he's acting like a Vaishya, sometimes he's acting like a Grihastha, sometimes he's acting like a peace ambassador, sometimes he's acting like a charioteer, right? Sometimes he's acting like a sannyasi. At the end, he's acting like a sannyasi. Now, what is Krishna saying? We'll go back. What is he saying? There is no work that affects me. Please make a highlight of this. So, this doesn't get registered in our minds for some reason. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. What does that mean? He does not aspire for the fruits of action. It's not that, he wants something out of this. All of this, he has done so many activities. It's not that there is some fruit that he wants. So we also go to school. We also get married. We also do our professional work, right? We also retire. But we have something in mind. We want some fruit out of that action. But he does not aspire for the fruits of action. He does not belong to this material world. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. So if you simply understand this truth, about him, about Krishna, what is the benefit? If anybody understands this truth, then they also do not become entangled in the fruitive actions of work. They do not become entangled in the fruitive actions of work. So here is the formula Krishna is telling, that just try to understand about Krishna. Just try to understand about Krishna and try to understand his position, his mood, or his activities. Simply by understanding his activities, the truth, then we will also become liberated. We will also become liberated. Right? So now let us see this. The king cannot do anything wrong. Right? So similarly, so it's like this, right? So we say that, let's say that there's a king. So here is a king. So there are so many subjects. So whatever king does is not counted in the law, right? It is not counted in the law, at least as per the autocracy. So for example, all the subjects have to pay tax. They have to follow the rules of the kingdom, right? Should the king pay tax? Should the king pay tax? Does king pay tax to himself? Yes?
No? He has to pay tax.
King. Why will king pay
Yeah,
tax?
but they
He
collect.
pay tax to the king. I'm not talking about democracy. I'm talking about autocracy, monarchy.
Yeah, king collects, Prabhuji.
King collects taxes. So and then you see, so for example, the individuals are buying some pieces of land. So all this land is belonging to these individuals, but finally who it belongs to? That land entirely. The land belongs to the king. Just like you see, a lot of times, I tell you some example. This was when Britishers had come, and so many people had their lands. Okay, this is my land, this is my land. They had papers. When the Britishers came, I know some families traditionally, okay, what happened to them? That Britishers said, what your land? This is our land, get out. Possible, no? The government can do that. Anytime government can say, we are seeing in Hyderabad also. So they can come and they'll say, this is government land, get out from here. Anytime they can say. So everything belongs to the king. That's the point. The point is, the king cannot do any wrong, and then the rules and regulations of the for the citizens are not meant for the king, right? So just like if or if we take in our modern generation also, see, we have to follow the rules and regulations one way and all, one way, two way, etc. Let us say Prime Minister is coming on the vehicle, and why? Do you think they will follow one way, all of these rules, traffic rules, red light, green light? What do you think? Is it for the Prime Minister's vehicle and all? Will they follow that? Protocols
No,
will
they don't.
completely change. They don't.
Free corridor for him.
Free corridor. There's no rules or regulations or something like that for the Supremo. Right? Can go anywhere, can do anything. So similarly, that's what we have to understand. See, what is happening is we are all doing different kind of activities. Let's try to understand this. Okay. So we are all living entities, human beings. So each of us, we have our own timeline and we are doing some activities, right? So I'm doing this work, this is this work, this work, this work, this work. For each of the work, I'm getting some karma. So it's like almost like a game. Okay. So sometimes let's say I'm doing some positive karma. Okay. I'm getting like plus 10 points. I'm doing something negative, minus 5 points. I'm doing something good. I'm helping somebody. Okay. Plus 10 points. I'm doing something bad, hurting somebody. I'm getting minus 30 points. So finally there is like, good karma, bad karma at the end of the life when the person is dead. So there is like the final score, like 30 minus 35, something like that. Okay. There's an account. And then it's added to the previous account of karma. But the question is, will Krishna also be counted like that? For the activities that he's doing, Krishna is taking birth, he's taking off the calves, okay, he's killing Kamsa. Kamsa is his own maternal uncle. So is it a good thing to kill maternal uncle? Is it a punya? Is it a pious activity to kill maternal uncle? Generally, tell me.
No, it is not.
It is
But
not.
he had to kill him because of his nature.
Yeah, well, because of his nature, he had to kill. But in any case, he doesn't get any kind of karma at all. Whatever he does, there is no karma to him. For example, Yudhishthir Maharaj, he had killed so many people during the Mahabharata war, and Krishna advised him to do Ashwamedha Yajna to purify himself of the sin of the war. But it's not like that. Krishna can do anything, but it's all like completely, it's on a different plane. Okay, it's called transcendental plane. He acts on a different plane. So whatever activity he does, that is not counted as a negative karma. So for example, he's dancing with the gopis, 16,108 gopis in the night. If any citizen does that, it is called a very pure fall down. If anybody is engaging in affair with the wife of somebody else, it's called the lowest, it's considered to be a very fallen person. But Krishna is doing it, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is always thinking about Rasa Leela, about the dance of Radha and Krishna. All the great sannyasis who have given up everything in their life, they only want to only think about Radha and Krishna. So Krishna is transcendental, his activities are transcendental. I understand it's difficult for us to get inside our head, because the moment it gets into our head, it's registered, then we immediately become liberated. So only liberated souls will be able to get this point about Krishna. So that is the point. We should try to understand. We should try to understand. I understand there's a lot of resistance. We won't be able to understand this. But the point is, once you understand that there's no work for Krishna, like sometimes we say, oh, Krishna appeared because in the last lifetime he did something. That's why. No. They say, the hunter came because Krishna had killed Vali, Rama. The pastime of Vali, right? So what happened? Lord Ramchandra, he killed Vali. Did he kill him face to face, or did he kill him from back of a tree?
Back of a tree.
So is it correct? Is it, a Kshatriya standing at the back and hitting? Is it a correct etiquette to kill somebody?
No, Prabhuji.
It's not, but there is a justification for that also. Lord Ramchandra gives. He says that, you see, a king, when he is challenging a warrior, he is to fight face to face, Kshatriya. But the problem is, you, Vali, have acted like an animal. Why? Because you have, put your brother in the jail, and then what did you do? You got married with your brother's wife. You married brother's wife. So you acted like an animal. So I don't need to come in front of you and fight like a warrior. According to me, you are an animal. So I hunted you like an animal. Because the king can hunt and you're an animal. So I hunted you. Or you can think that it's a punishment that the king gave. King can give any punishment. And I am the king right now, because Bharat Maharaj is there on the throne. But he said, this kingdom belongs to you. And right now I'm just temporarily taking care of it. You take care of the forest. Right now I'm the king. I'm giving you the punishment. Like that. He has got a justification. So but we think, oh, because that, oh, he had killed like that. It was wrong. That's why this person has come as a hunter. That's why he has got this karma, bad karma. Lord Rama has got some bad karma. That's why he's being killed with that arrow. This is all material calculation. This is not the calculation of the devotees. We should not think like that. Okay. Krishna is not having any karma. See, simple. By chanting the names of Krishna, we get disentangled from all our past karma. Then how can such personality have karma? Make sense? It doesn't. Are you understanding? By chanting whose names all the past karmas are gone, that is Krishna. You don't get any. He doesn't have any karma. Anyways, the point here, just see this. The king is not subject to the state laws, and he is the creator of the material world. He is not affected by the activities of the material world. He creates the material world and remains aloof from the creation. Okay, so let me just, who can read this? 1 minute till. Okay, from here to here. Okay, so who can read from here to here?
May I, Prabhuji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
He creates and remains aloof from the creation, whereas the living entities are entangled in the fruitive results of material activities because of their propensity for lording it over material resources. The proprietor of an establishment is not responsible for the right and wrong activities of the workers, but the workers are themselves responsible. The living entities are engaged in their respective activities of sense gratification, and these activities are not ordained by the Lord. For advancement of sense gratification, the living entities are engaged in the work of this world, and they aspire to heavenly happiness after death. The Lord, being full in himself, has no attraction for so-called heavenly happiness. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. See, a common man, what does he want to do? We'll see difference between a common man and Krishna. See, this is what a common man wants to do. Okay, let us say every living entity wants to do this. What is it? So every living entity or a common man, okay, living entity wants to do this. What is it? This is my life and this is afterlife. Okay. So all my life I want to do some activity and get the result of it and lord the material world. So that means I want to become the master of the material world. So for example, I want to become the king. So the biggest aspiration is I want to become the king. So this is the aspiration. And after death, want to go to heaven and enjoy. Yes or no? Do you agree? Is this the mentality of a living entity? Yes or no? I want to do some activity and dominate so that I can become the lord of the world in this while I am alive. And I don't like to die, but after I die, if I have to die, I should go to heaven and I should enjoy there. This is the common man's aspiration. This is called karmi. Krishna, yes please.
That's the thought process for the common man, but it's conflicting, right?
Conflicting for what? Conflicting.
If you are doing like Lord material world, if you are
Yes.
want to Lord the material world or own the material world, then you can't go to heaven.
If you follow the activities of, no, it's not contradicting. It won't be contradicting if you follow the Vedas. So in the Vedas, there is a system of how you can do activities religiously. It's called religion, principle of religion. By acting in that religious principles, you don't go to hell, you go to heaven. For example, Krishna and Arjuna is saying to Arjuna that if you fight this war, he says, Hatova prapsyasi swargam muktva mokshase mahim. So, jitvava mokshase mahim. Jitvava mokshase mahim. That means, Arjuna, if you die in the war, okay, now Arjuna is fighting a war. If you die in the war like a great brave warrior, fight like very nicely, and you die, you will go to heaven. Atova prapsasi swargam. You will go to swarga. Jitvava, if you win, you will become the king. Your brother will become the king. So in both ways, war is good. I mean, a religious war is good. I mean, like that, there are so many religious principles by which there have been so many great kings who have been very pious, who have been the king of the entire material world, and who have gone to heaven after death also. Again, I'm talking about a positive example who are following the scriptures. Of course, there are so many negative examples who have become dictators and atrociously become rulers and who go on to hell. I'm talking about a positive example. But common man thinks in a positive way, na? That while I am alive, I should be good, very nice, a big man, very dharmic man. Everybody should say, wow, so great, very, he donates so nicely, he's such a great man. And after I die, I want to be Swargastha. I should go Swarga, everything, all facilities should be there, I should enjoy. Yes or no? This is the mentality, right?
Sure.
Right? This is our aspiration for every living entity. Common man. Nobody thinks, I want to become liberated and I want to serve God, I want to serve Krishna. Only liberated people think like that. Common man doesn't think like that, isn't it? The point is, Krishna doesn't think like that. He doesn't have any aspiration that he wants to become the king of the material world, even though he is the king already. He is the king. He is the king of the material world. He is the king of the material world. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta sarvam pravartate. He is the king of the entire material world and spiritual world, but he doesn't have the propensity that I should be the Lord, I should be the king, like that. Nor does he want to go to heaven and enjoy. That is not his point. He's transcendental. So that is the aspiration of the living entities. And the demigods who are there are his engaged servants. So this is called as a low grade happiness. So whatever I explained, Krishna doesn't have that thing. The proprietor never desires for a low grade happiness as the workers may desire. So the workers may feel, oh, today if they give one day, if the students may feel that one day if teacher says no class, we will all enjoy in the class, right? Or the people may say, okay, one day if they say there's nothing to be done, okay, we'll enjoy like anything if there's no rules. That is a low grade happiness. That is a worker attitude. But the king is not thinking like that. Yes or no? The king or the teacher or the master or the proprietor is not interested in a low grade happiness. He is aloof from material creations, right? So like that, you have to understand the Supreme Lord is the supreme cause, and the immediate cause is the material nature by which the everything is visible. So the point is the person here. Let us see this. This is very important. Okay. Yes, this is very important. I want somebody to read this. Who can read this?
May I?
Yes, please.
Prabhuji?
Yes, go ahead.
Anyone who's fully conversant with all the intricacies of this law of karma or fruitive activities does not become affected by the results of his activities. In other words, the person who understands this transcendental nature of the law is an experienced man in Krishna consciousness, and thus he is never subjected to the laws of karma. One who does not know the transcendental nature of the Lord and who thinks that the activities of the Lord are aimed at fruitive results, as are the activities of the ordinary living entities, certainly becomes entangled himself in fruitive reactions. But one who knows the supreme truth is a liberated soul fixed in Krishna consciousness.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So it is very important for us to understand the nature of Krishna. It is of relevance for all of us. Why? Because if we do not understand Krishna, or if we misunderstand Krishna, and if we think that whatever Krishna is doing is a material fruitive activity, he wants to go to the Swarga, or he wants to become the Lord of the universe, why is he continuously saying, I am God, I am God? If you think like that, they become entangled in the fruitive reactions. But the one who knows the supreme truth about Krishna becomes liberated. This is the simple thing that we have to understand. We have to understand about Krishna and his activities and his nature, because as soon as you understand and you accept that Krishna is transcendental to all material activities, even though he appears in this material world again and again and again and again in the form of his avatars, but whatever activities he does is not material activities, transcendental activity. He does it only for the pleasure of the devotees, only for destroying the miscreants, only for establishing the supreme religious principles he comes. To simply understand this, then you become liberated. That is, we have to become experienced in Krishna consciousness. When we become experienced in Krishna consciousness, we will never be subjected to the law of karma. Otherwise, what happens is, see, there's like two things. Okay, what happens is, we are going in like a merry-go-round. Okay, so it's like a merry-go-round. So just imagine. So how does a merry-go-round work? So it's like this, going round. So it's like this merry-go-round. Correct? So what is happening is, in merry-go-round, you go up like this. When you're going up, how do you feel when you go up in a giant wheel? What is your emotion when you're going up? What's your emotion when you go up?
You feel very happy.
You feel very happy. It's a yay. And when you're going down, what's your emotion?
You leave your heart up and come down.
You'll
Heart
shout,
is in the mouth.
You'll shout, ah! Shout. So this is what is happening with the living entities. Okay, merry-go-round. So you do some pious activities, good karma, even in the Vedas, do some fire sacrifices, pious activities. You go to the heavenly planets. So when you're going to the heavenly planets, like, yes. So then, after the Kshine Punya Martalokam Vishanti, afterwards all the Punya is over, you'll be coming back to the our earthly planet. We will fall down from heavenly planets, fall down. And when we are doing some sinful activities, knowingly or unknowingly, if you do sinful activities, we'll be going to hellish planets. Hellish planets. Okay. So that's when the living entity will shout. Ah! Again, after some time, getting the human birth. Again, doing some activities, becoming a very pious man, donations. Very nicely, everybody saying, such a great man. Wow. Going to heaven, falling down, going circles. This is a circle that's going on, okay? This is called law of karma. So how many of you want to get out of this law of karma? You want to get out of this law of karma? How many of you want? Yes. You want to go out of this law of karma? Yes. So if you want to get out of this law of karma, then you have to understand this simple fact. Understand about the birth and transcendental activities of Krishna. So understand about the nature of Krishna. Understand who is Krishna. Then if you understand, then you will not become entangled in these fruitive activities. So you will be given, it's like, going back. There's the third path, heaven, hell and Godhead. So it's like going back to Godhead. Going back to Godhead. So you can go directly back to Godhead instead of struggling here. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Now, see, beautifully Krishna is explaining 15th verse, the continuation. Who is going to be reading 15th verse, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Evam jyatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi kuru karmaiva tasmat tvam purvai purvataram kritam. Translation: all the liberated souls in ancient times acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare. So Krishna is explaining this and saying, okay, here there is somebody, okay, so you may be thinking, okay, what is this Prabhuji saying? Prabhuji is saying we have to act in Krishna consciousness, we have to understand about Krishna, we have to understand about the nature of Krishna, that Krishna doesn't get affected by karma, then I'll be going back to Godhead. What is all these new things? I have learned something different. All my life I have been doing so many different temple activities. Nobody said me these activities. What is this new system? This is a new system that these people have invented. You may get a doubt like that. Krishna is also saying the same thing. Krishna is saying, Evam jnatva kritam karma purvairapi mumukshubhihi. Purvairapi mumukshubhihi means in the past, great liberated souls have done the same thing. All the liberated souls in the ancient times have acted in the understanding of my transcendental nature. So those liberated souls, all of them know about Krishna. They know how to act in Krishna consciousness. Who are these people? Purvairapi mumukshubhi. He's talking about some liberated people in the past, and he's saying you should perform your duty following their footsteps. Now I have a question for you. He's referring to some people. You act like them in the past, right? And then become liberated. So just like sometimes in the class, teachers will be telling, right, to the students that you see, after you complete your engineering, you will get a placement and you will be happily first you will be out of this college, and then you will get placed and you will be happy. I'll tell you, there's so many people in the past who are my students who have done this, who have studied nicely, passed all their exams, cleared their arrears, and then they got placed and they're happy. Like that. There are so many past students of mine. So Krishna is referring to some of his past students. Can you tell me which past students he's talking about in this chapter? Which past students did he talk about? In the first couple of verses, Krishna spoke about some of his past alumni.
Vivasan, Manu.
Yes, exactly. That's right. That's right. He's saying all the liberated people in the ancient times have acted according to my transcendental nature, and who they are his students, Krishna's students. And who are the students? Here we see, I'm going back to the first verse where Krishna is saying, I instructed this imperishable knowledge of science to the sun god. And then sun god, Vivaswan, instructed it to Manu. And Manu instructed to Ikshvaku. Right? He's saying, my first student, sun god, he instructed to Manu. Manu instructed to Ikshvaku, all the line of Ikshvaku kings, all the great pious kings, all the great Mahajanas, right? Prithu Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, Prahalad Maharaj, right? The four Sanaka Sanandana, right? The four Kumaras, right? And Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, all of them are Mahajanas who have followed Krishna consciousness, especially Bali Maharaj, Prahalad Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Shukadeva Goswami, Parikshit Maharaj. So these people are the past students, and Krishna is saying, they understood this and they acted on this platform. Therefore, you follow their footsteps. We have to act following the footsteps of whom? Whose footsteps should we take? We should take the footsteps of the disciples of Krishna. That means, what does the disciple mean? So what does that mean? Let us see this. Okay, here is Lord Krishna. This is Lord Krishna, and he has got disciples. Like, for example, he has explained it to the sun god, right? Similarly, Lord Krishna has many more students, like Lakshmi Devi is a student.
Prabhuji, kindly take us to your slide.
Sorry. Yeah, just let me fix this. Yeah, thank you. So, examples, Lord Krishna, Lakshmi Devi is a student. Four Kumaras are the students of Krishna. And Lord Shiva is a student of Krishna. And then Lord Brahma, okay. So now sun god gave it to Manu, right? So these are all paramparas, like Manu gave it to Ikshvaku, like that. So again here this is called as what? What is this called? What is this chain called? Parampara.
Disciplic succession.
Disciplic succession, parampara. So four Kumaras, it's going on, unbroken chain is going on. There is a chain. This is Rudra Sampradaya, Kumara Sampradaya. Okay. So Lord Brahma, this is the Madhva Sampradaya, right? Brahma. So this is where ISKCON is coming into this picture. Okay, so unbroken lineage is coming.
How about the first one, the sun god to Manu? That was not the disciplic succession thing?
That is also a disciplic succession. Again, Arjuna is also a disciplic succession. Krishna is giving to Arjuna. Okay, Arjuna did not teach to anybody, however. Lord Krishna has given to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva has recorded it, right? Vyasadeva is there in one of the, I think, Lord Brahma's Sampradaya, Vyasadeva is there here. Okay, I'm not sure in the other Sampradayas if Vyasadeva is there, maybe there also. So, Krishna is saying, Purvairapi Mumukshabhi, please follow this. Let's get back. He's saying, all the liberated souls in the ancient times have acted according to the instructions. Therefore, you perform your duty following in their footsteps. So, what is it that we understand? What should we do? Whose footsteps should we follow? Whose footsteps should we follow? Those who have heard from Krishna. Those who are liberated, the Mahajana's footsteps we have to follow. Right? And here in this purport, Prabhupada is saying there are two types of people. And there are some people who are materially purified, and there are some people who are materially polluted. So both of them can take to Krishna consciousness. Okay. Okay, let's talk about this. This is very important. Okay, very important point is coming here. There are two type of people. Okay, this is one and this is one. Okay, so this is like impure consciousness. That means having desires. Okay, pure consciousness, no desires. So whether you are in impure consciousness or pure consciousness, you have to take to Krishna consciousness and become purified, further purified, and go back to Godhead and become liberated. Akamo sarvakamo va mokshakamo udaradihi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta hi purusham param. Doesn't matter whether one is full of desires or there are no desires. You know, it can be karmi. I want to enjoy this material world. I have so many things to enjoy. That can be the consciousness. That doesn't matter. Or somebody with pure consciousness. I know that I am the spirit soul. I just want to be the devotee of Krishna. Doesn't matter. Both of them have to take to Krishna and become purified and go back to Godhead. So now the important point is here. Foolish people or neophytes want to retire from activities without having knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Let us highlight this point. Okay, I want somebody to read this.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Foolish persons.
Yeah, please read.
Foolish persons or neophytes in Krishna consciousness often want to retire from activities without having knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Arjuna's desire to retire from activities on the battlefield was not approved by the Lord. One need only know how to act. To retire from the activities of Krishna consciousness and to sit aloof making a show of Krishna consciousness is less important than actually engaging in the field of activities for the sake of Krishna. Arjuna is here advised to act in Krishna consciousness, following in the footsteps of the Lord's previous disciples, such as the sun god Vivaswan, as mentioned herein before. The Supreme Lord knows all his past activities as well as those of persons who acted in Krishna consciousness in the past. Therefore, he recommends the acts of the sun god, who learned this art from the Lord some millions of years before. All such students of Lord Krishna are mentioned here in the past liberated persons engaged in the discharge of duties allotted by Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Max.
Hare
Thank you very much. You're able to see the screen here, right? So, okay, let us say here, okay, Krishna. So here is Krishna. Krishna has allotted a duty to sun god. Okay, sun god. So sun god's duty is every day he has to rise in the morning and set in the evening. And he is giving illumination to us. So what if the sun god says that no, I am very advanced person. Okay, I want to retire from my duties. I don't want to come because I am very advanced. You see, I want to take sannyas and stops coming to the thing. Will Krishna be pleased? Krishna has allotted a duty to sun god in the material world that you illuminate the material world. But if sun god says no, I am very illuminated person, I'm very advanced person, I don't like material activities, this is material activity, I'll go to the forest, I just want to go liberate, I'm not here. Is that okay? Is that correct?
It's not correct.
It's not correct. It's not correct. No? Similarly, Krishna has given a duty to Arjuna. Krishna, he wanted the war to happen actually. Right? He's telling to Arjuna, he's become the charioteer. He's on the war, in the middle of the war field. Okay, a very prestigious war. Right? If this war is won, only Arjuna can make the Pandavas win. Right? Without Arjuna, war cannot be won. Sure, correct? And if Arjuna is going to flee from the battle, Yudhishthir Maharaj will not become the king. And Duryodhana will continue to be the king. And he will bring many more irreligious, demoniac people, and he will recruit them and he will create more havoc. Krishna wants to establish religion. He wants to finish all the burden of the earth. He has come on a purpose, and now he is become ready to become a charioteer, And he's sitting on the charioteer of Arjuna, has come to such a low stage. Actually, he's not a charioteer, he's a king. Krishna is Supreme Personality of God. But he has taken such a low job to become a charioteer for the sake of Arjuna. And now Arjuna is saying, I want to leave this war and I want to take a begging bowl. Okay, it's better to be begging in the forest. I want to beg in the forest. So is that approved or disapproved? Arjuna is putting a letter, resignation letter. Sir, I want to resign. I want to go to forest and take a begging bowl. So what did Krishna say? Disapproved. He said, I don't approve this. Are you understanding? So this is the point. So what happens is, some foolish people who are new to Krishna consciousness, they want to retire without having the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Let me put this. So as soon as we hear a little bit of spirituality, we feel that now we should give up everything. My father is not my father, my mother is not my mother, my wife is not my wife, my child is not my child, I don't belong to anybody. Let me go to the forest. This is called foolishness. This is not Krishna consciousness. Unless somebody is advanced, unless it is approved by the spiritual master, one should not prematurely give up his activities. Instead, they should act in Krishna consciousness. Arjuna was advised by Krishna that you do not give up the war, but instead you fight for me, for my pleasure. Then you will be liberated. How many of you are understanding what I'm saying? So what is the final point? The final point is, the sun god has acted, and all the past people, sun god did not retire prematurely, or Manu did not retire prematurely. He ruled for crores of years in Krishna consciousness. Ikshvaku did not retire prematurely. Dasharath Maharaj did not retire prematurely. There's so many great kings in the past who have not retired prematurely. But why do people think that they have to retire to the forest immediately without having advanced knowledge? So Krishna is not recommending that. Krishna is saying to Arjuna, follow the footsteps of the previous disciples and do your activity in Krishna consciousness. Do not make a show of sitting aloof. That is not really important. A lot of people want to be, they want to become a Babaji in Vrindavan and chant 24/7 like Haridas Thakur. That is called imitation. Don't imitate. Just do Krishna consciousness. Be active. Whatever your duty is, you do it in Krishna consciousness for the pleasure of Krishna. Then you will become liberated. All the students of Krishna are mentioned as past liberated persons. They engaged in the discharge of duties allotted by Krishna. The duties allotted by Krishna, the duties allotted by the spiritual master, we have to perform. Next verse. Who's reading the next verse? Yes,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Text 16. Kim karma kim akarmeti kavyopi atra mohita tatte karma pravakshyami yaj gnatva mokshyasi shubhat. Translation: even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji, thank you. Any other readers who are mentioned in 16? Sindhu
Yes.
Mataji?
Can I start, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Krishna. Kim karma kim karmeti kavayopi atra mohitaha tatte karma pravakshyami yajñatva mokshase shubhat. Translation: even the intelligent are bewildered in determining what is action and what is inaction. Now I shall explain to you what action is, knowing which you shall be liberated from all misfortune. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much. And third person, okay, Harsh Prabhu is also here. Okay, maybe not here. Okay, no problem. So, Krishna is explaining about what is karma and akarma. This is an important concept. We will revise this next time also. We don't have too much time for today, but we will revise that next class also. Karma and akarma. Karma means action. Okay, it's fruitive action. That means you are acting with a desire to enjoy, that I am doing this, right, for my pleasure. That is karma. Akarma is to act for the pleasure of Krishna. Okay, that is for the pleasure of Krishna, acting for pleasure of Supreme. So it's a simple change in consciousness. Krishna is saying to Arjuna, don't change your work, change your consciousness. A simple point, that who am I, what is my relation with the Supreme, and why am I doing this activity, is a simple change in consciousness. If you simply change that consciousness, whatever activity that you do does not give you any material karma. That becomes akarma, or the work which does not result in any fruitive results. It does not give any action. So this is like zero. It's not plus or minus. This is either plus or minus. Karma, either you get plus or minus, but akarma is like zero. It's not giving you plus nor minus. So, but Krishna is recommending to Arjuna to act in akarma, akarma which does not accrue any kind of reaction, which will liberate you. So we have to follow the leadership of authorized persons who are in the line of disciplic succession, like how he explained, like how Ikshvaku, Manu, they are in the disciplic succession. We have to follow the leadership of those people. And how it was given to sun god, Manu, Ikshvaku, like that, in that line we have to follow the authorities in the line of disciplic succession. This is the most important point. Otherwise, the most intelligent person will be bewildered on the standard of actions of Krishna consciousness. Even the most intelligent person also doesn't know what they should do. You may be Albert Einstein, but you don't know what you should be doing, action. So Albert Einstein has done so many sinful actions. If we read his story, we will understand. But what is the use? See, we have to understand. You may be very intelligent in IQ, but you don't know what is the activity that you should do. The most intelligent men, they will be bewildered in standard action of Krishna consciousness. That's why Krishna only can explain. He is himself explaining Krishna consciousness, how to act. People don't know how to act. We are simply acting, but we are getting karma out of it. But in fact, we should not get any karma. We should act in a way that we don't get karma. This is going to be explained much more in the 5th chapter. And the principles of religion, we cannot debate and create. See, for example, in a debate, somebody can say this is moral, the other person can say this is immoral. No, there's some other debater who can come who is better and say, no, both of you are wrong. This is both, we are both immoral. So this is not the way to manufacture religion. The manufacture of, nobody can manufacture religion. It can be only given by Krishna. We should follow the footsteps of these great Mahajanas. This is the most important point. You must follow the footsteps of great authorities like Brahma, Shiva, Narada, Manu, Kumara, Kapila, Prahlada, Bhishma, Shukadeva Goswami, Yamaraja, Janaka and Bali Maharaj. Purvairapi Mumukshubhi. Mahajana Yena Gatasya Panta. Follow the footsteps of the Mahajanas. All the great liberated souls who have acted in the past in Krishna consciousness. You have to read the story of Prahlad Maharaj. Read the story of Bhishma Pitamaha. Read the story of Shukadeva Goswami. Read the story of Janaka Maharaj, Bali Maharaj. Read the story of Narada, read the story of Swayambhuva Manu, and find out how they have acted. How they have acted, what was their duty, how they have acted. We have to follow their footsteps. Then you will become liberated. This is the point. This is the way of doing it. Only action performed in Krishna consciousness can deliver a person from entanglement of material existence. Only this can actually deliver us. And only Krishna can explain us that this is a change in consciousness, okay? So it is not about giving up your duty. It is all about changing your consciousness. You should say that, I'm doing it on account of the Supreme Lord. Because Krishna wants me to do it, I am doing it. I'm doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. That is more important. So I think we will stop here. There's still some more verses, but I don't think we'll be able to take it today. We'll continue in the next one. Anybody has any questions? We'll take up some questions if anybody has any questions. Anything in the chat? Hare Krishna. How was the class? Was it a little heavy? Did you understand it?
It's well explained, Prabhuji.
Well explained.
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhuji.
Easily understandable, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Everybody is able to follow it. Good. Okay. That's nice. All right.
This is into our bird brain.
Sorry.
It's entering our bird brain.
Yes,
We have a bird brain, but still.
Krishna's, I mean, Krishna, I mean, of course, all of us, like Krishna is giving supreme knowledge. The Supreme Lord is speaking. So
Yeah.
there's a lot that has been said by Krishna. And by the fortune, we are fortunate to have Bhagavad Gita as it is written by Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, it would have been merely impossible for us to understand what Bhagavad Gita is telling us. Right? So, because there's so many other commentaries which actually confuse us. But this is so authentic commentary, which is like clearly explaining what Krishna is saying, right? All right. Okay. Thank you. Any other points you want to say? Other questions? Anything that you want to add, or any questions, or anything that you didn't follow, or anything like that? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna devotees. Okay, thank you very much for joining. So let us
Thank
all
you,
chant
Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Maha Mantra 3 times and we'll end the meeting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare,
Rama Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare. Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare.
Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Rama Rama, Hare.